It's a good Tuesday morning, and as luck would have it, our most popular video on our channel is about this washing machine. And we have got the dreaded F21 code. It's been throwing this code for a while. It's been throwing this code a lot. Throws this code at least once a month, but usually goes away. So it has now been unplugged overnight, and we're still working the F21, which according to the Googles is a drain code. But I can hear the motor running, and I can hear the drain tube draining, not draining, but gurgling. So now the motor's working, and there most definitely is water inside the unit. So it is not draining, which tells me that likely the impeller no longer has any vanes on it to move the water. So it's going to have to be replaced. We'll start by shutting her down, seeing if we can get it to stop. The only way to really stop this is to unplug the machine, because nothing works. So let's give her an unplug, and there she goes. All right, so she's unplugged. Now we'll see if we can recreate the magic. Cue the music. Good morning, YouTube. As you have probably seen, I'll probably just put the first video in. Our most popular video to date. I have, I don't know, 40 or 50 of them now. Been doing it almost a year. Showing the weddings and setting up for the weddings and all that kind of stuff. But oddly enough, our most popular YouTube video is fixing the washing machine. I don't know. I guess people like watching me fix stuff. Who knows? It had CJ in it, so maybe that's what it is. So today we've got the dreaded F21 on the on the Kenmore. We have a Kenmore Smart Wash QuietPak 9 HE5T. And we have the F21 code, which is the failure to drain code on this thing. It's been doing it. It's been getting progressively worse. We clean this little drain fell out here fairly often. I haven't cleaned it out in a little while. I'm gonna clean it out first, but I went ahead and bought a new pump. It was 35 bucks on Amazon. It looks like it should be fairly easy to replace. Something tells me that the impeller in here is probably no good anymore. This machine is a little over 10 years old, I believe. I think it's an 06 model. So, I don't know, really it's 15. I guess it's almost 15 years old. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the front panel off of this thing. I'm gonna look at the drain filter, see how dirty it is. I don't expect it to be too dirty. And then I'm going to pull it out and replace it with the new pump. And then I'm gonna take it apart and see if I can figure out what failed. But first, I gotta get the water out of it. How do I get the water out? I don't know. I may shop vac it, but I think I'm gonna turn it on and see if it will pump itself out. Even if it pumps a little bit out, that's less that I gotta deal with. So we're gonna try it and see what happens right now. So I'm gonna let y'all hear it. You can hear the pump down here. It doesn't sound great. It almost sounds like an impeller failure. All right, so I was right. It did not, I don't know if you can see that. It did not drain. We got the F21 going. I mean, it didn't even try. I think the motor ran for too long, but I did go find the Suckulator 5000. We're gonna succulate the water out of there, remove the bottom, open that little vent. I'm gonna suck the water out of that too, instead of draining it into a towel or a pan or something. We'll see how it works. I'll let you know, because I haven't seen that done yet. So we're gonna try it and see what the results are. There it goes. All right, now we're unlocked. Turn it off. Go ahead and unplug it. So I'm not working on any wires that might have some electricity in them. We're gonna succulate the water out. Loud noise warning. Here we go. Alright, so apparently that was considerably more water than I was expecting. And that's like 3 gallons of water down in there. So let's empty that out and we'll take the bottom panel off. There we go, look at that. Alright, so I'm gonna take this one out. This is a, I don't know, T20. I'll tell you here in a minute when I pull it out. Oh my goodness. Put those in rather tightly. That is going to be a problem. I can't get on it. My screwdriver is too fat to get onto that screw. Oh, look at that hair. That's awesome. That's always lovely. Easy enough. Easy enough. Here's our culprit. This is our problem. So I'm going to crack this open and start succulating some of the water out and see if I can do it without a towel. Wish me luck. Again, loud noises. So here we go. So as I had said, we generally clean this out pretty often. I mean, once every couple of years I pull it out and get the pennies and the gook out, and it's, I mean, as you can see, it's clean. There's nothing really hung up in it. There's a little bit of fuzz caught in it, but nothing that would keep it from draining. So we definitely have a pump problem, and the pump is still running. So I don't think it's actually a pump problem. It's going to be the little impeller fellow that's in here that actually pumps the water. So we're gonna pull it out. I'm gonna pull it apart and see what failed. Let's see if I can get a decent angle for y'all to watch this come apart. All right, so here's a rubber thing here. Pull that off. Let's see, you've got a rubber foot right here. Pull that off. Probably the rubber foot in the back. It's the same thing. Yep, pull that off. Rubber feet on this side. Pull that one off. Rubber foot in the back. Got a hose disconnect right here. See if I can do it with my fingers. And I cannot. And we probably should have done this when we changed out the bearings, because we were already having the F21 problem, but it wasn't permanent. It wasn't constant. It was just every once in a while. All right, so I got that off. Let's get this rubber foot off back here. Looks like it's just let me pull this new pump down so you can see how. Last thing I want to do is rip that rubber foot off. So that goes there, and this is a completely different setup. That's not good. Oh wait. Oh wow, it is totally different. Oh gosh, this is not good. And there's the phone. Oh, gotta pause. All right, I am back. That's another 2022 wedding. Looking for April. This time of year is getting pretty popular because it is absolutely stunningly beautiful out here at this time. All right, so I'm gonna pull this hose off back here and see if I can make 100% sure that this thing's gonna work. A cover. That would be pretty interesting if it is. So we'll pop this open, take out the connector. Connector looks the same. Back in the unit looks pretty close. All right, let's take it out so we can, let's get it out of here so we can kind of get a better look at what we're doing. All right, let's take it apart and see what happens. See what we're dealing with here. Oh, out of there. All right, 3 screws, wedge it apart. Yep, there's your impeller failure right there. You can see it's sealed up around here. It is completely exposed. The rubber gasket is completely exposed right there. So that is actually trash. All right. So I think the best bet is going to be pull this motor off with the impeller. So I was wrong. You could do this. If I can do this, you can do this. So this isn't quite what I was thinking it was going to be. It is a little easier than I thought it was to get that motor off of there. But here's your good impeller, and as you can see, there are no exposed sections of rubber gasket, rubber grommet. It is tight. It doesn't. There's no play other than the motor shaft. That's just trash. So I'm going to take this motor and I'm going to put it back in this unit here. Make sure it's clocked properly. Gasket seats well. Went right in. So even though it's not the right part, it's still the right motor. Let's put it in the old housing. So I'm glad I didn't jack it up pulling it out. At least there's that. At least there's that. We'll put these screws back in. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. Just get it started. You don't want to tighten it all the way up. You want to seat the whole thing at the same time. So go in, leave you a little bit of room there. You can see it's not quite pushed all the way on yet. There, it's completely seated, but I still don't want to tighten the screws till I get them all in. Why? I don't know. Is that a rule? Probably not. And of course, it's a windy day again, as it always is. Last screw here. This one I'll go ahead and run all the way in. Tighten it up, come back, tighten this one up, come back, tighten this one up. Now they're all in. Double check them. Tight. 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 All right. So now I've got the new motor on the old housing. The new housing is not really any good because, as you can see, they're completely different on the bottom. This is a pretty classic example of why I try not to damage anything when I'm taking it apart, because I ended up having to use the same housing. So since my rubber pieces are still good, I can use the old housing, which definitely makes it worth the effort to take a little time and not damage anything when you are removing your parts. That makes sense? Because you can get frustrated and I'm just going to pull it out. I'm replacing the part anyway. Well, if I had gotten frustrated and done that, then I wouldn't be able to put this back in and use it, and we'd be stuck waiting for parts to show up again. Like so. We're going to take our front one, clip it back in, and now we're back installed. Well, except for the hoses in the back, which is next. Well, 20 minutes later, I finally got that deadgum hose clamp on. My goodness, I didn't expect that to be such a pain. That was insanely hard. And it was so super easy to do when we took the bearing, when the bearings were out and I was doing it from the behind it. It was just super simple. So I do not understand what happened there, but it's just a strange phenomenon, I guess. All right, there, we're back in now. I'm gonna see if I can adjust this just a little bit. So last thing, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a clean this O-ring up, put a little hooky pooky on it and put it back in. And then we're gonna fire it up and try it before I put the front back on to make sure there's no leaks. So let's knock that out right quick. All right, so I got my O-ring lubed up. I got this mating surface in here cleaned up pretty good. There was actually a couple of pretty sharp edges on it, so I think it ended up being a good thing that I did that, because I probably would have ended up cutting this O-ring up. All right, so that's in. I'm gonna tighten this up. Now that's in. I feel like that's nice and seated. Double check everything. My wiring's connected. My hoses are on, and we're gonna fire this baby up. Let's plug it in and watch the show. All right. Here we go. I'm just gonna run a rinse and spin on it, so it will put water in and drain it out. We should be able to see it, hear it, and everything. So far, so good. She's spinning and I can hear water draining. And I can see water draining. I actually see water draining out of there. It was pretty high just a minute ago, so it's completely empty now. It's about to finish its So I'm guessing she'd keep pumping, because normally there would be water coming out of the clothes at this point. So the pump would stay on in order to pump the water out as the clothes were spinning. Alright, so the pump just kicked back on again to pump what water was in there, and there is none because there's no clothes. We're down to 9 minutes. I'm pretty confident that this is going to work. There are no leaks. Alright, well, she just finished her cycle all the way through, no F21, no leaks. So I'm gonna put her back together and we're gonna call this one done. So thanks for watching another how to repair your washing machine video. Not really a how-to, but probably more of a how not to. If you order the wrong part, I didn't order the wrong part. I ordered the part that it called for when I put in the specifications for this washing machine. That's the part that showed up. Obviously it wasn't the right one, but the motor worked. We got her put in with the old equipment, and it works. So thanks for watching. Also, quick shout out to Jeff and TD on the YouTube here. Yep, we were right. Impeller failure. So appreciate the conversation on that. She's fixed now.